Once upon a time, in a small village at the foot of the mountains, surrounded by thick forests and flowing streams, lived a poor woodcutter named Ahmed. He lived in a small mud hut with his wife Fatima and their 2 children. Every morning, Ahmed would wake up before sunrise, walk deep into the forest, and spend the whole day cutting wood. In the evening, he would carry the heavy bundle to the village market and sell it for just enough money to buy some bread and flour. Fatima often stayed hungry so that her children could eat. Ahmed would look up at the night sky and whisper, "Oh God, is poverty my only destiny? Will my hard work ever change my fate?" One day, while cutting wood, dark clouds gathered and heavy rain began to pour. Ahmed quickly took shelter under a large tree. Suddenly, he saw an old sage standing in the rain, drenched from head to toe. Ahmed ran to him, took off his own shawl, and covered the old man. The sage smiled and said, "Son, you saved me from the rain. But do you know who I am?" Ahmed replied humbly, "You are a man in need, that's all I need to know." The sage said, "Your kindness can change your destiny. Come to this same place tomorrow before sunrise, and I will tell you something that will transform your life." Ahmed bowed and agreed. The next morning, before sunrise, Ahmed returned to the same spot. The sage was there, smiling softly. He said, "Ahmed, you are an honest man, but luck only helps those who act bravely. Beyond this mountain flows a river. On its bank, you'll find 3 doors. Each door will give you one chance, but remember, do not be greedy. Choose only what satisfies your heart." Ahmed asked curiously, "What lies behind those doors?" The sage answered, "Behind the first door is gold, behind the second are jewels, and behind the third is knowledge and blessings. But if you choose out of greed, you will lose everything." Ahmed thanked the sage and went on his way. After crossing the mountain, he found the river, and just as the sage said, 3 doors stood there shining. He opened the first door and saw piles of gold glittering. His eyes widened. "This could end my misery," he thought. But the sage's words echoed in his mind, "Do not be greedy." He closed the door and walked to the second. He opened it and saw precious jewels sparkling like stars. He trembled, but once again, resisted temptation. Finally, he opened the third door. Inside was only a book and a pen lying on a stone table. Disappointed, he sighed, "I came here hoping for wealth, but there's only a book." Just then, a soft voice echoed, "This is the book of knowledge. If you understand it, fortune will come to your doorstep." Ahmed picked up the book. When he returned home, Ahmed opened the book. It was filled with words of wisdom. Work hard, but with honesty. Earn, but bring goodness to others. Do not gather gold, light your heart instead. At first, he didn't understand much, but he made a promise to read 1 page every day. Slowly, his thoughts began to change. He started selecting better wood, treating his customers kindly, and even giving free wood to those who couldn't pay. Gradually, people began to admire his honesty. In time, he became known as Ahmed the Honest. With his savings, he opened a small wood workshop, hired workers, and treated them with love and fairness. Years passed, and Ahmed became a wealthy and respected man. He had land, a fine home, and most of all, peace in his heart. Every night, he would look up at the sky and pray, "Oh Baba, you didn't give me gold, you gave me something far greater, knowledge, honesty, and faith." Years later, Ahmed grew old. One day, that same sage appeared at his door. Ahmed ran to him, tears in his eyes, and bowed before him. The sage smiled and said, "My son, I never gave you wealth, I gave you a path. You changed your own destiny through goodness. Your honesty will bless your generations to come." Ahmed said, "Baba, if every man understood that true wealth lies in hard work, kindness, and truth, then no one would remain poor." The sage looked toward the sky and said, "That is the lesson the world needed to learn. You have succeeded, Ahmed." Saying this, the sage disappeared. Before his death, Ahmed gave the same book to his son and said, "My child, this book is more precious than gold. It holds the knowledge that makes a man truly rich. True wealth is not in gold or silver but in honesty, hard work, and a kind heart. Greed blinds the soul, but goodness lights the way forever."